Why is it there's never a jailbreak on nice, pleasant, warm nights in New York?
Why is it you never shut up?
Lock and unload, Avengers.
Cap, do we have any intel on what happened here?
That led to these guys dropping out of the sky.
Negative, Iron Man. Just a Mayday distress signal from the prison transport jet heading to the raft.
And there came a day unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes found themselves united against a common threat to fight the foes no single superhero could withstand. On that day, Avengers were born.
I'm a soldier. There are days, years, when all I've known is war. And like in any war, there are sacrifices that have to be made.
While Captain America and Falcon were pursuing an individual with the ability to manipulate the wind, Captain America instructed Falcon to remain airborne to evade being engulfed in the swirling winds. Unexpectedly, Falcon was struck by a bullet in the back.
You shouldn't have run. Whatever your plan was, it's over. How's everybody else doing, Sam? Sam? Falcon!
Help!
This is war. You're just another casualty. There was a time, when I wouldn't have taken this kind of chance. When you live your life in a paradox, when yesterday's tomorrow is today, it's a challenge to care about anything other than the mission. She changed all that. She gave me a reason, a purpose. My daughter, Hope. Imagine, the last face you ever see is your child watching you die. Hello? Is anybody out there? Hello! Oh, hell, nothing but ash. Maybe I did die.
Whoever took Sam didn't count on you. Their mistake. Rest easy, Falcon. I'll have you out in...
Don't.
Cable? What's going on here?
Listen carefully. You crack that glass tank, you'll set off a C4 charge that'll kill the Falcon, and probably take you out as well.
You're in pain. I can see that. Put the gun down and I'll get you the help you need. The Avengers will...
Wrong! I've studied you, Rogers. Your focus is split. You're worried about your buddy, the Falcon. We're both men who were raised on the field of battle. And on that field, you start to care about the men and women who fight alongside you. Maybe even more than yourself.
You're ill. There's something wrong with you. Whatever your reasons for taking action against the Avengers, I'm interested in only one thing, bringing it to an end right now.
Captain America successfully brought down Cable, only for Cable to rise and unleash energy shockwaves that propelled Captain America across the room. Taking advantage of the situation, Cable grabbed Captain America's shield and aimed the gun at him, only for Captain America to swiftly disarm him. The confrontation intensified as they traded weapons, the shield and the gun. Unfortunately, the gun soon ran out of ammunition for Captain America. Cable then hurled the shield with such force that it embedded itself into the wall, making it impossible for Captain America to retrieve. Exploiting this momentary advantage, Cable assaulted Captain America, rendering him unconscious. After triumphing over Captain America, Cable's eye began to glow, allowing him to witness future events in which his daughter had perished. The inability to save the world stemmed from Cable's daughter's absence. What added an intriguing twist was the extraterrestrial being, a friend of Cable's, delivering this information to him. Cable found himself simultaneously drifting between the future and the present. While in the current moment, he was overseeing Captain America's restraining session following their battle. Meanwhile, in a future conversation with his extraterrestrial companion, he learned about the rapid spread of the technovirus in his body, leaving him with less than 24 hours to live. Upon discussing Hope's impending demise in the future, Cable inquired about the party responsible, although he already held the answer, the Avengers. This knowledge fueled his ongoing assault on Earth's mightiest heroes. The setting changed to Iron Man engaging in a battle with a foe known as Dance Laser. Both were firing laser beams at each other. Iron Man's beams proved ineffective as they simply passed through Dance Laser without causing any damage. Conversely, Dance Laser's beams effortlessly pierced through Iron Man's armor. Fortunately, Tony Stark's suit had the ability to self-repair. Dance Laser believed he was gaining the upper hand, only to be swiftly restrained and subdued by Tony, who then unleashed an electromagnetic pulse on him. Meanwhile, Red Hulk also confronted his adversary and emerged victorious. These villains had broken free from a prison transport plane, having removed their inhibitor collars to utilize their powers. Tony Stark inquired with Red Hulk about the whereabouts of Falcon and Captain, but even the Red Hulk was unaware. Upon spotting Falcon's solitary bird in flight, they decided to follow the bird to find Falcon and Captain. Cable began an internal monologue, revealing his motive for attacking the Avengers. His objective was to defeat and capture each Avenger member to extract information from them. He was determined to uncover why the Avengers were interested in his daughter, Hope. Despite repeatedly questioning Captain, he received no satisfactory answer. Leveraging his ability to traverse time, Cable engaged in a conversation with Hope. When she inquired about his metallic arms, he evaded the question and instead aggressively asked if there was an issue, despite her innocent curiosity. In the current timeline, the bird guided Tony Stark to a massive ship. His armor's AI couldn't identify the ship's owner or its origin, making Tony instantly aware that he was walking into a trap. Upon entering the ship, he discovered Captain America and Falcon, both in a surprising state. Despite attempting to approach them, Tony's armor warned him of impending danger. Suddenly, Cable snuck up from behind and struck Tony with a laser, catching him off guard. The beam caused damage to Tony's armor, which quickly repaired itself. In response, Tony lunged at Cable with a punch, only for Cable to effortlessly block it by seizing Tony's arm. Cable then unleashed a peculiar energy beam at Tony, leaving him bewildered as to its origin. Tony's armor revealed that Cable was utilizing Stark technology. The dilemma arose as Tony couldn't identify the specific hardware that Cable employed, a result of Cable time traveling into the future to acquire advanced Tony Stark technology and returning to the present before Tony had even developed it. Subsequently, Cable unleashed an energy blast that sent Tony hurtling through the air, leading to his plunge into the ocean. Cable pursued him underwater, initiating a fierce battle. Leveraging his familiarity with the Stark technology used by Cable, Tony was able to override its control and gain the upper hand. Subsequently, he fired an energy beam at Cable, rendering him unconscious. Cable, utilizing his time-traveling capability, journeyed to the future where he engaged with his daughter Hope once more. She had on a metallic contraption on her hand and presented it to Cable. His expression turned to anger upon seeing it, and he raised his voice at her, commanding her to remove it. Hope clarified that she simply wished to emulate her father, who possessed a metallic arm. Cable sternly advised Hope against trying to be like him. In the current timeline, Tony emerged from the water holding the Cable with one arm after defeating Cable. Tony disclosed that all his creations, regardless of their time period, are grounded in the original Stark data code used for his armor. Surprisingly, Cable regained consciousness and reasserted control over Stark technology. Subsequently, he launched an attack on Tony Stark, rendering him unconscious. Cable noticed that the virus was spreading to his lungs, causing him difficulty in breathing. Utilizing his time-traveling skill, he once again encountered his daughter Hope. Curious, she inquired about what it is like to live with the technovirus. Cable explained that he constantly uses his telekinetic power to control the virus. He reassured his daughter that he would never abandon her. Returning to the present moment, Tony was seen defeated and constrained in a chair. Unexpectedly, Cable was struck by a laser beam from behind, catching him off guard. Subsequently, the Red Hulk emerged, brandishing a firearm. The Red Hulk disclosed that he had reviewed documents on Cable, thus comprehending that Cable is a time traveler and is expected to be deceased as per the records. Cable, who is concurrently experiencing the present and the future, is being instructed by Hope in the future to combat the virus and reunite with her. She seems older in this particular timeline. At present, the Red Hulk converses with Cable and observes the location they are positioned in is brimming with traps. He requests Cable to instruct him on facilitating the release of the captured Avengers. Cable is simultaneously experiencing both present and future timelines. In the present, he is talking to Red Hulk, calling him Talbot, although Red Hulk does not acknowledge that name. In the future timeline, Hope reminds Cable of the vow he made never to abandon her. Hulk then informs Cable that he is not Talbot. Following this, in the present timeline, Cable's skin transitions to a metallic sheen, with his entire face taking on a metallic look. The Red Hulk aimed a gun at Cable, who persistently referred to him as Talbot, daring him to shoot. The Hulk denied being Talbot, explaining that Glenn Talbot was a fallen soldier. Cable warned that shooting him would lead to the demise of the captured Avengers, though this turned out to be a bluff. Disregarding the warning, the Hulk pulled the trigger but missed due to an ambush from Talbot's time-jumping ally. This ally fired a laser piercing the Hulk's chest, causing him to miss Cable. Enraged by the injury, the Hulk retaliated with multiple laser blasts at Cable's friend, boasting about never missing his mark. In a swift move, Cable's friend effortlessly evaded the beams and struck the Hulk in the face with a metal rod. In the midst of the battle, Cable utilized his time-traveling capability to venture into the future where he had already eliminated all the Avengers. Only he and his time-traveling companion remained, the sole survivors in that timeline. Engaging in conversation, Cable's friend admonished him, stating that his actions were bound to lead to their demise and emphasized that this grim future was not inevitable. They had the power to travel back in time and rectify it. Cable's friend opposed the idea of holding the Avengers accountable for deeds they had yet to commit. He raised inquiries about the technovirus, to which Cable responded by indicating that the virus seeks to infect the entire body. Together, they proceeded to the Avengers' mansion. Cable was taken aback upon discovering that the Avengers had inhibitor chairs. Additionally, they stumbled upon Tony Stark's armor, which had not yet been developed in the present timeline. Moreover, within the confines of the Avengers' mansion, they unearthed Dr. Doom's time-traveling apparatus. Resolved to seize all the technology housed within the Avengers' mansion, they resolved to transport it back to their current timeline. Returning to the current time frame, the Red Hulk was able to seize Cable's associate and warned that he would crush him unless Cable surrendered. Cable utilized his PSI blasts to infiltrate the Hulk's mind, leading him to release the hostage. Cable then armed himself with a gun and unleashed a volley of shots at the Hulk, propelling him back and causing a breach in the ship, sending him tumbling out. The narrative then shifted to events from 12 hours prior, when Cable and his companions were loading crates onto the ship. Cable informed his comrade that his daughter, Hope, held the key to the mutant race's survival, stressing that without Hope, there would be no future for mutants. Back in the current time, the Hulk leaped back onto the ship and struck Cable with a massive ship anchor, launching him through the air. The Hulk pursued Cable and ensnared him with a chain, demanding to know why Cable had chosen to undertake a suicidal mission. Threatening to grant Cable's wish for death, the Hulk insisted on receiving information on how to safely free the Avengers first. Cable managed to free himself through sheer strength, causing his body to start shooting metal spikes from all over. The Hulk was struck by numerous spikes, leading to his collapse. Puzzled by the situation, the Hulk questioned what was happening. Cable then came to a realization, understanding that the Hulk wasn't Talbot and that the Hulk's demise may be imminent in this moment, implying that the Hulk might not survive to reach his future. As Cable pointed the gun towards the Hulk, poised to pull the trigger, a familiar voice interrupted. It was Cyclops, Cable's father, along with Hope, Cable's daughter. Overjoyed to see her father, Hope embraced Cable, grateful for their reunion. Despite Cyclops' attempts to reason with Cable, Cable remained resolute in his decision. Cyclops mentioned that he believed Cable had perished and was glad to see him. though he found Cable's actions to be reckless. An altercation seemed imminent between Cable and Cyclops, but Hope intervened, standing between them and preventing a fight. Asserting that she was no longer a child, Hope declared that she would determine her own fate. Just then, Spider-Man and Wolverine arrived on the scene. Wolverine declared his intent to kill Cable to rescue the Avengers. The narrative then flashed back to 11 minutes earlier, before Wolverine and Spider-Man discovered Cable's vessel. Noticing the Avengers' absence, the duo formed a search party and began tracking the missing heroes by scent, eventually tracing them back to their ship. Returning to the present moment, Wolverine lunged at Cable, driving his claws into Cable's arm and causing him to drop his weapon. Before the weapon hit the ground, Hope swiftly grabbed it and attempted to communicate with her father telepathically, urging him to cease his actions. Meanwhile, Hope engaged Spider-Man in combat, firing shots at him, which he effortlessly dodged, warning her to be cautious as he had sewn his suit anew the previous night. Spider seized the weapon of Hope with his web. The firearm began discharging erratically, unleashing multiple beams, one of which struck Cyclops in the back. In response, Cyclops employed his ocular beam to blast Spider-Man, propelling him out of the ship. Cable appeared to be gaining the upper hand as he pummeled Wolverine. Cyclops informed Hope that Cable had to be halted. Realizing her father's resolve, Hope comprehended that he didn't expect to survive. Cable's comrade connected with Hope via telepathy, assuring her that her father's decision was unalterable, which was why they escorted her inside the vessel. Guiding Hope, Cable's friend instructed her to liberate the captured Avengers. Due to her lineage and training under Cable, she possessed the ability to neutralize any device constructed by him. With the clock ticking, only 14 seconds remained before the C4 explosives would detonate. Remarkably, Hope managed to defuse the bomb in just 7 seconds. Falcon shattered the glass confining him and launched an assault on Cable. Using his I-beam, Cyclops rescued the Avengers from the inhibitor chair. Once freed, they stood prepared to confront Cable. Hope removed the spikes used by Cable on Hulk. With the combined efforts of Hope and Cyclops, all the Avengers were liberated and ultimately emerged victorious over Cable. Cyclops stated that Cable was no longer a threat and expressed his desire to take him back with him. Wolverine expressed skepticism, questioning, given that Cable is a time traveler, what's preventing him from launching another attack? Captain America permitted Cyclops to take Cable on the condition that the Avengers would retain all of Cable's technology within the ship. Cyclops agreed to this condition. The scene then transitioned to the X-Men headquarters, where we witnessed Hope interrogating Cable's friend. Hope inquired why he had betrayed Cable, to which he responded that it was done to protect him. It was the only method to save Cable, as he was on the brink of death due to the technovirus engulfing his body. Through her actions, Hope successfully eliminated the virus and saved Cable from perishing. Cable, utilizing his time-manipulating powers, transported himself along with Cyclops to the distant future within the astral plane. He conversed with Cyclops about Hope, disclosing that she embodied the Phoenix and needed their protection. Cable cautioned that a conflict between the X-Men and Avengers was looming, urging Cyclops to safeguard Hope and make the right choices. He vowed to support Cyclops when the time came and stressed that Hope was the mutant's savior, emphasizing the necessity to ensure her safety at any cost.